This is a video advert because I'm potentially thinking about selling my GSX-R 750 SRAD. This is a proper collector's item, in my humble opinion. This is the third one I've had. It's by far the best one I've had. Unfortunately, I don't really want the best one I've had. I would actually quite like something that was straight, tatty, that I can throw around a racetrack, maybe crash a few times, and not really lose any sleep over. If I crash this, I will hate myself forever. I'll never be able to forgive myself. I'll have to commit harry-carry. So yeah, I got it nearly by accident. I thought I was buying a track hack. The guy said he'd dropped it. He also said it didn't run, so I went down, picked it up, and found this. It's done 12,000 kilometres. It's a German import. The other concern was that it was restricted. Trust me, it isn't. I could show you a photograph or an onboard video that, if it wouldn't get me locked up, would show you that it's certainly not restricted. Anyway, it's done 12,461 kilometres. I've replaced the clock with a mile-per-hour clock because I don't like doing mental arithmetic while I'm riding, which equates to less than 8,000 miles. Show me another SRAD that's done less than 8,000 miles, and I don't know. I don't know what I'd do. I just go, oh, that's a low mileage. It's in stunning condition. I've had 3 of them. Both mine were in great condition. This is by far the best. It's a Suzuki. There are blemishes, and like I said before, the reason the guy was selling was A, he couldn't get run, and B, he dropped it. Now what he'd done is he had a crash bung here, and he said, "Oh, I was scraped up one side." Is it really? Yeah, it's terrible. Now this is the panel. The panel that he says is awful. Now what's actually gone on here is that all the damage has been contained to this one side panel. There is one on eBay at the moment. It's in Germany. It cost you 150 quid plus some shipping to get over, and it's in as new condition, the same as the rest of the bike. Now, if I was keeping it, and if I was the kind of guy who really wanted a museum piece, then I'm pretty sure I'd buy it, and for 150 quid you would then have a bike that has no blemish. I don't really, it's not bad enough to do anything with. It's been scuffed along here. Now I've just filled it in with paint, and I know the damage is there, and if I'm looking at this, if I'm walking up to this, when I'm riding the bike, when I'm walking up to the bike, when I'm cleaning the bike, I don't notice it. You really don't notice the damage at all. There's some scuffing down here, but again, the decal's got some sort of graining through it, and it's kind of in keeping with that. And to be honest, I reckon you could get an OEM decal here and replace the whole thing. If it really bothered you that much, you could get a decal to cover that up. There is, I don't know if you can see, you know, it's so difficult to see. Yeah, let's see if we can get some more light. Let there be light, and there was light. Let's see if we can show this up. Can you see it now? I'm trying to, right, the damage is there. You see it? Excellent. Right, okay. Now right, now that I've pointed that out, you see if you can spot it again. Yeah, it just doesn't bother me. So anyway, I got it. It wouldn't run because it had been laid up for a while. Modern fuels contain, I don't know, 1,000,001% ethanol, which is shit. It's made out of, I think it's made out of boiled down hippies. What they do is they boil down a hippie, but because hippies are hygroscopic, they don't make your bike run right. And the fuel goes off quicker. So what I've done is I've cleaned the fuel tank out. Let me see if I can get a light on. Hey, look at that. God, I'm an old man with modern technology. Look at that, I managed to switch the light on. I'm chuffing myself. I'm going to tell my daughter. I might program my own video next. Yeah, so I've cleaned the tank out. The tank was full of shit and gunked up fuel. So I've given that a good clean. It's spotless in there now. I've done a really good job of that. The carburetors, I cleaned the carburetors out, gave them an ultrasonic clean. But what I found was the choke circuit wouldn't work properly. And although it didn't need a choke in the summer, I figured it would in the winter. So what I did was I replaced the carb bodies with a known set of good carbs, and then swapped all the newer jets and all that sort of carrying once they've been cleaned out over. This bike runs spot on, so whatever I've done has worked perfectly. So that's it. I mean, hopefully what you're getting here is a good sense of the quality of the bike. Oh, there you go. That was the other damage. Sorry, on the silencer, it's been scuffed where it's dropped it. So you've got the bit on the front there, and the scuffed silencer. Ow, and you know, sorry, does it all add up? You know, look at this. It's not as perfect as I'm making it out to be. That bar end I had to replace, and I just replaced it with one I had lying around. There's the original there. But of course, because it's an 8,000 mile bike, it's the bar end. That bar end's perfect, and I don't really want to replace it with a shoddy old bar end. So I'm just waiting for, I don't know. In fact, I don't know what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for a pristine bar end to come up. I mean, what's wrong with me? I'm like some sort of geek. Anyway, I haven't done it yet. If it bothers you, crack on. The other thing is the screen. The previous owner, despite not knowing, not knowing how to make a bike run, it came with a blue. There you go. There it is. A blue screen. And as you can imagine, a blue screen on this bike, being lovely as it is in full black and white and silver and whatnot, looked bloody awful. So I've replaced it with a black one. I was going to replace it with an original screen, but the original screen is crap anyway, because when you sit on the bike with the original screen, your view of the clocks is kind of like that. Yeah, so you have no idea how fast you're going, which on this bike is a bit of an issue. So what I've done is I've replaced it with a black one. I think it's in keeping with the bike. You make your own choice. A second-hand screen will cost you 20 quid, 30 quid, I don't know. Original indicators, original everything, original everything, apart from a silencer. But again, silencers, silencers normally 20, 30 quid on eBay, because nobody wants a standard one. They all want something like that. That exhaust can, I'm not a fan of loud exhausts. Let me start this. I'm not a fan of loud exhausts. So what I normally do is put them back to standard. Now, but this one, it just sounds nice. It's not overly loud. Let's start it. It's not overly loud, but at the same time, it's got a really nice note to it. So for me, it's the right balance. I mean, it's difficult to tell on the video how loud it is, but this is. There you go. For me, that sounds pretty good. Like I said, I mean, the bike runs absolutely perfectly. I mean, the idle way rock steady. If it was any colder, I would have needed a choke. Yeah, it picks up, revs through. There's no flat spots. It takes off like an absolute demon at the top end. And yeah, I'm not going to rev the nuts off it. I mean, trust me. I mean, it absolutely flies. So hopefully that's it. I mean, hopefully I've given you a good idea of the quality of this bike. I mean, if you just look at the tank, it's not. I don't think there's a blemish on it really. And for a Suzuki, also, I mean, there are. I mean, there you go. Look at that. I mean, that's terrible. There's a scratch. My God, And no, it's a Suzuki. They all, the paint on Suzuki's isn't the best, but it's obviously been sitting doing absolutely nothing before I got it, and I'm a reasonably sympathetic guy. Hence, I'm trying to sell it before I make it any worse. Well, it's been bitten by a vampire down here. I don't know what's going on. There's a couple of chips in the mud guard. But it genuinely, I think the thing with this is, I mean, I've had two before, and this is, I've not had one that feels as together as this. This is kind of what it must have felt like in '96, when this thing first came out. It's all together. Suspension works really well. The brakes are excellent. The brakes for it, I mean, all the other ones I've had, the brakes are kind of showing their age. I swapped them out on both of my other ones, but these ones, I mean, the 6-pot calipers, they're renowned for being a bit iffy. But I tell you what, when they were new, no wonder the reviewers at the time never said anything about them. They're spot on. They're absolutely fantastic. If you don't look after them, they're going to go off. But this one's been caught before anything's gone wrong. Just keep them in good nick. Give them a clean out. Just go in there, grease the seals. Do what it is that you're going to do to keep them right. These bikes, they go off and they get although they're kind of legendary status. I mean, they're legendary for what they were when they were new. They're not legendary for the hacks that are around on the road at the moment. That handle like there's a hinge in the middle. This is absolutely spot on. I'm not a fan of the tyres that's on it, but I haven't changed them. They feel like a sports touring tyre. You know what? This is a sports bike. You need grippier rubber. Yeah, I'd get that replaced as soon as possible. The other thing is the previous owner, despite only having 8,000 miles on it, he's managed to polish the rims. Now, I have no idea why anybody would do that, because, well, do you know what? So each to their own. I have to say that I was considering sort of repainting the wheels, or actually swapping the wheels out for a set of standard wheels. But it kind of really goes with the bike, with the sort of Yoshi can and the silver decals and everything. It kind of goes really well. So I have to admit, despite being a sort of sucker for originality, I can kind of live with it. And it's again, maybe the purists would want to get rid, but it's of its time, and that's what everybody was doing. So I don't know what else to say really. I'm not desperate to sell. I would happily consider a swap for something else. I just like interesting bikes. So you can see there. I mean, I've got a Cruiser. As we came in, there's It's a VFR 750 outside that I use in the winter to protect the things that it's gone dark. Anyway, there is, trust me, there is a VFR 750 out there. I use that through the winter. This hasn't gone anywhere since the salt went down on the road, so yes, it's too good for it. So anyway, save this bike from the inevitable demise that will befall if I have to take it on a track, because I'm not that good, but I am a maniac. So yeah, there's genuinely nothing wrong with it, and I don't. If you go back through my selling history, you'll see that I'm. In fact, there'd be other videos on here. There was a GSX-R that I sold to somebody. He's still in touch. He absolutely loves the bike. I've done him a favour. He thinks I'm the best thing since sliced bread. I'm an absolutely genuine seller. This is an absolutely genuine bike, and I really just want it to go to a better home, and hopefully with a bit of cash in my pocket, so I can buy something that I don't have to lose sleep over. Anyway, that's it. Cheers.